Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim or Simnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. This video is something that I really do not find funny. There are some things you see on the internet, and you are asking yourself, "Is this a black man?" and all that. This is really very wrong in all shades. Some are always looking for an opportunity to attack black people, black women, and the rest of it. Okay, you all remember the video that has been circulating about a palm-colored man saying that he is raising black kids, but he is not raising them why he's raising them. He's not raising them to see colors and all that. So another woman actually responded, "Why do palm-colored people adopt black kids?" And a black man actually came out to make a video saying that they actually, why is it that black women throw away their kids? And I am asking, what is the relationship between what the young lady asks and what this man is saying? Because I do not see any relationship, you know? And he said if only black mothers would stop having random kids or random children with random men without being married, probably without having children to keep without having family to keep the children. And that is really very rude. It's just a very horrible thing to say from coming from a black man. See, I know some people really want to be associate with white supremacy so bad, but this is really ridiculous. And you know what? Let's get into this.
Why do white people adopt black children? It's a real question for me.
Because you keep throwing them away. Maybe if black mothers would stop having random children with random men without being married and having a family to keep that child in, there wouldn't be so many black children to adopt. Also, while you're on the internet running your mouth, how many children can you adopt? Probably zero, because you don't qualify, because you have to have a family. You have to be financially sound. See, this is how the process works. First, they reach out to the immediate family, any blood relatives, and try to get somebody to take that child. That didn't work. Then they try to find a child with a family they can connect with, same race. That didn't work. And they had no choice but to put the child with a white tea family who was willing to take the child. So instead of asking why are white tea people adopting black people, why don't you ask, why are there so many black children up for adoption? Aren't y'all the most educated? Aren't y'all making the most money that any other group of black women have ever made? So why aren't you adopting black babies?
Why do white people adopt black children? It's a real question for me.
Because you keep throwing them away. Maybe if black mothers would stop having random children with random men without being married and having a family to keep that child in, there wouldn't be so many black children to adopt.
Nick can't say that on TikTok. T. Nathan, you're not white enough. So, this year, let's take a look at some numbers. Presently, there are about 400,000 children in the foster care system. And of those 400,000, 117,000 of them are waiting to be adopted. But hold on. And I would like for you to explain that throwing them away statement when you applied it to black women based on the numbers, because there are almost twice as many children in foster care that belong to white families than there are to black families. So are all these white women just randomly having kids with random men and throwing them away? I understand. That glizzy is hard. Moving right along.
Also, while you're on the internet running your mouth, how many children can you adopt? Probably zero, because you don't qualify, because you have to have a family. You have to be financially sound.
Now, your personal attack against that woman is rooted in the fact that she is a black woman, and obviously that is enough for you because you have no personal insight into her financial stability. And obviously, you have not read federal law governing adoptions in this country because you would also know that as long as she is an American citizen and over the age of 25, she does not have to be married or have a family. She could be single. But let's continue.
See, this is how the process works. First, they reach out to the immediate family, any blood relatives, and try to get somebody to take that child. That didn't work. Then they try to find a child with a family they can connect with, same race. That didn't work. And they had no choice but to put the child with a white T family who was willing to take the child.
Swallowing the glizzy of white supremacy must take a lot of time because it leaves you no time to do any research before you talk out the side of your mouth because it's so full with the glizzy of white supremacy, you just can't speak out of it all the way. You would have found that there are studies talking about the reasons for the disproportionality in the foster care system. You could have referenced this 2017 study that shows that black children are more likely to be separated from their families and placed in foster care, but it also goes on to say they are less likely to be reunited with families. Child welfare professionals may knowingly or unknowingly allow their personal biases to impact the work in reporting, investigating, intervention, and placement. Black parents may also be wrongly targeted by law enforcement or suffer employment, which can increase the likelihood of a black child being removed from the home. And because of this one factor alone, black children either remain in the foster care system without being adopted for longer periods of time, or it leaves them at the mercy of the system and having no control over their own adoption. Please continue with your closing.
So instead of asking why are white T people adopting black people, why don't you ask why are there so many black children up for adoption? Aren't y'all the most educated? Aren't y'all making the most money that any other group of black women have ever made? So why aren't you adopting black babies?
I wish you all would just make the video saying you don't like black women instead of trying to use your pseudo intellect like it has some meaning in reality. See, the evidence shows that black families adopt at a higher rate than white families. 7 adoptions per 10,000 black families for all black families versus 2 adoptions per 10,000 white families for all white families. And when you control for the age of the parents below 55, family income above poverty, and family structure, that rate goes up to 18 adoptions per 10,000 black families within the range versus 4 adoptions per 10,000 white families within the same range. These figures convey the reality of a much higher adoption rate amongst black people than amongst white people. You are dismissed. You can get back to your 2 favorite pastimes, hating black women and swallowing the glizzy of white supremacy.
Why do white people adopt black children? It's a real question for me.
Because you keep throwing them away. Maybe if black mothers would stop having random children with random men without being married and having a family to keep that child in, there wouldn't be so many black children to adopt. Also, while you're on the internet running your mouth, how many children can you adopt? Probably 0, because you don't qualify, because you have to have a family. You have to be financially sound. See, this is how the process works. First, they reach out to the immediate family, any blood relatives, and try to get somebody to take that child. That didn't work. Then they try to find a child with a family they can connect with, same race. That didn't work. And they had no choice but to put the child with a white tea family who was willing to take the child. So instead of asking why are white tea people adopting black people, why don't you ask why are there so many black children up for adoption?
Whew. Number one, there is so much wrong in what he just said. I can tell he thought he ate. I'm finna knock over that whole plate. Number two, as a black man with kids, where in your half-baked analysis do you implicate the fathers, the baby daddies, the boyfriends, the husbands, or do you just skip over them and call them a random man? Number three, the random man he spoke of, do they have any responsibility in parenting or bringing up a child, or is it all the onus on black women? Number four, this man does not know how adoption works. There are different processes for private and public ways of adopting children. We also know that you don't have to have a two-parent household in terms of a heterosexual couple to adopt. There are gay couples that adopt. There are lesbian couples to adopt. This man really thought deeply about some shallow shit and then drowned in his own understanding, thinking he clever. Number five, let's contextualize how criminality works in answering this question about why there are so many black kids up for adoption. Today, black women make up only 13% of women in this country, but represent 30% of women in prison population and 44% of women in jail. I wonder, how does being incarcerated impact your ability to raise and parent a child? Number six, for I even contextualize how black men are impacted by the prison industrial complex and how that impact their parenting. Let's be real. We are more likely to be suspected, to be detected, therefore we're more likely to be incarcerated, to be convicted, and to be punished. And that obviously impacts how we parent our children. I'm a person that literally was in college with both of my parents being locked up. Number seven, it takes two people to make a child, right? What we know is that 33% of African-American males make up the population of those that's convicted for felonies. How does being convicted of a felony impact how children get placed in adoption? Well, your daddy locked up, your mama locked up, we're going to put you in the state like your parents in the state. Number eight, in pointing out that black women are the most educated, how does that correlate with them being the most paid? Because you recognize they usually pay less on the dollar than they less educated counterparts, right? Number nine, why do y'all like to pathologize the black community for being the only one that has single mothers in it? Why do y'all do that? Number 10, his entire rant was taken out of context what she was actually saying. This even what it say on the caption right here. White people adopting black children and don't see color. Let's really look at the clip she was responding to.
I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men. I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it and being a good man.
Yes, this man made a racially illiterate analysis to defend somebody that was trying to be colorblind and raising black children. Say it ain't so. How many kids has he adopted? Does he have this same energy with any of his friends that are implicated in being random men that lay down with women and make kids? Does he? In conclusion, I wonder what is the relationship to black womanhood and having economic access and also being able to birth a child. I wonder what are the correlations and implications of it. My final point comes from Hayes Hilda. Women get dragged for having babies. Women get dragged for choosing not to have babies. Shit is ridiculous at this point, man. Education is elevation.
Man, we'll beat y'all fucking ass. I bet y'all don't say it back.
Wow, tough guys. I bet your mom's real proud of the way you turned out. You're the kind of person I'd like to buy for what I know he's worth and sell him for what he thinks he's worth. I'd be rich. But in the meantime, I'd suggest y'all get a job. Find a way to pay for some stuff. Make your family proud instead of this gangster bullshit. Don't mean nothing.
Dougie, 1583, this you? Yeah, let's get it. First, we're just going to speed past that idea that a white man referring to buying and selling black men in any way, shape, or form or capacity is any way acceptable. But I see by your comment section that bigotry and racism is alive and well in America still. Moving right along. You see, that comment you made about buying and selling black men, that's just the icing on that racist cake you made. See, the main ingredients are that you looked at that video, made the assumption that those young men did not have jobs or that their mothers were not already proud of them. And what was that assumption based upon? Some blustering in a TikTok video? No, it was because of the color of their skin and their dreadlocks. Also, Doug, I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to those 10,000 plus people who like that video and all those people in your comment section who are hyping you up and agreeing with you. See, racism is not dead. The institutional racism, the system that perpetuates it, is not dead. And you are a living embodiment and representative of it not being dead. And as far as your service, I would like to say this with all due disrespect. Fuck you and your service. And we're done.
So this is all I got from this, and the fact that we've really seen a lot of people weighing in on this, and some actually come out to take a swipe of black people and the rest of it. Number one is that at first I did not see anything wrong with what the young lady asked. The man in question that started this whole thing, that is raising black kids, Ryan, I think that's his name, Ryan, right, said that he is not raising black kids. He is raising men, or he's raising kids that he doesn't see color, you know. And you all already know how people say they don't see color, especially when it comes to colored people. And raising black kids, if you are raising black kids, sincerely speaking, you truly have to see color, and you also have to accept that you are seeing color. Saying that you do not see color is a lie. Saying that, there are going to be, I am not saying that he is, saying that he's going to raise the kids right and all that, but you really have to show them the foundation. Prepare their mind. Let them know that there are some certain things they are going to face outside there because of their skin color. It's something nobody should actually lie about, and the rest of it. Prepare those kids' mind, because if it doesn't prepare their minds, like eventually the outside world will prepare their minds on some certain things, and then in the end they start probably detesting or not being happy with the man, or having to do so many therapy as they keep growing and all that. Let them know what they are supposed to face outside world, because sometimes some parents refuse to teach their children the foundation, give them the foundation of some certain things, or of life, or of their history. When they fail to do that from the onset, it affects those kids, and the end result is usually not great, right? Then back to the black man who actually came out to take a swipe on black women and black people. See, it's really very sad that sometimes we lack comprehension, or sometimes we are so quick to wanting to support colored people, probably because you want to support them, or probably because you already bought into white supremacy ideology and all that. But man, you all can sometimes be coming down and stop using, or any little chance some of them get, they use it to take a swipe at black women, trying to ask black women why are they not adopting, why are there so many single mothers in black. See, the way there are so many single mothers, and see, you're talking about single mothers. Who made them single mothers? Probably people like you too, right? So why is it that you all are always ready to react in a horrible way when it comes to people that look like me, or especially when it comes to black women and all that? And him that is talking, how many black kids has he adopted, or is he not old enough to adopt somebody? Or they are always ready to defend some certain things. I really do not blame anybody asking why they adopt. Sorry about that. I really do not blame the young lady asking why they did that when they tell you that they don't see color. See, I think there are some lies we should stop telling ourselves, because it does not add up. It does not make any sense. You all already know why some of them just want to adopt people that look like me. Some are not doing it but some are doing it for some reason, which you all know. And him, being a black man, he knew this. But because he wants to be on the left side of history, which he is on already, and I am wishing him luck with that. I hope my ancestors judges him harshly, because these are the people that are so quick to jump into something they know nothing about. Because if he is intellectually smart, I don't think he's going to come out here to start spewing rape, because all these are racist rhetoric and the rest of it. They can do better, or he can do better. See you all in my next video. Let me know what you all think, and bye for now.